is finally that time again. Arc Raiders is right around the corner with its full release. After the 6-month wait between the Tech Test 2 that was publicly showcased to the launch upcoming, we're almost there. However, in the meantime, whether you've committed to going topside or not, this weekend there is a limited scale test to inundate the servers with as much traffic as possible to test the infrastructure for the full launch. Open to everyone, all Raiders will be welcomed in Speranza. Today we're taking a look at everything that you need to know for the server slam upcoming, how to get in, what you'll be experiencing, even what rewards come along for simply playing in this open test. Drop your thoughts as we go along, drop a like if you enjoy the video, and do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button if you're new and excited for Arc Raiders along with other FPS content. We're chasing down a lofty goal of perhaps 700,000 subscribers by year's end, so I'd love to have you in the community if you're interested in coming along for the ride. But anyways, let's get into it. So first, I guess we can start with what is the server slam? Fancy name aside, you can probably call this like a sort of open beta, or more accurately, an open demo. This is a final large-scale test before the Arc Raiders launch, where the goal is to push the servers to their limits ahead of the launch of the game. Game balance, feature testing, all of that stuff is not on the docket or to-do list this time around. It's solely to stress test servers for the launch of the game. So while feedback is always welcome and appreciated from the development team, any mentioned feedback relating to gameplay changes likely will not make it into the launch build. Afterwards, that's a different story, but not for launch. But the Server Slam is going to be an open test with a limited run of content available to play and test out. So when I say open, I mean, yes, you can jump in and try it out regardless of your intentions of purchase or anything else. You can be as stoked for the game as ever, like I am, or just a first timer learning about it and you want to try it out for yourself. The only prerequisite, you just need to have Steam, the Epic Game Store, a PlayStation 5, or an Xbox Series X or S. Last generation is not included with this, nor with the launch of the game. This Server Slam test will take place on the 17th and run through October 19th, so it's just this weekend and this weekend alone. But as for specific timing, if the event listed in their official Discord is anything to go off of, it will be 6 a.m. Pacific PT, 9 a.m. Pacific ET, and 2 p.m. BST on Friday the 17th, and then will end 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, and 4 p.m. BST on Sunday the 19th. So far, there additionally is no details on a preload of any kind, though. We may not see one if the Tech Test 2 is anything to go off of, however. Sizing was around like 11 gigabytes if I'm not mistaken, so it's not a super hefty download that would require a preload, but of course, it'd still be nice to see one of those for those interested in jumping in the moment the servers go live. That said, it is a limited test here, a smaller scale test just to test the servers, so what content will you have on offer and we'll see playable? Firstly, the map is Damn Battlegrounds. We saw a couple in the Tech Test 2, and we know of a couple more coming with the full launch of the game, but we only have one map available for this server test, as naturally, again, it's to test the servers and keep everyone confined into one singular playlist of sorts, testing the very most the game could possibly have at any given point to make sure their infrastructure is good and holds up. It said you can run solo or head there with a squad, your choice. This is the first map Raiders will explore in the full launch version of Arc Raiders. It's the perfect fighting ground to get your bearings, test your instincts, and learn the rhythm of the Rust Belt. And they also mentioned we may perhaps see things like electromagnetic storms, night raids, and the Queen making an appearance as well. Those, not perhaps, we'll see that, it's gonna happen. Those kind of teases are for a reason. They said the Arc machines or the AI will encounter are including but not limited to wasps, ticks, bastions, and leapers. Wasps seeing these swarming flyers, firing with accuracy. Ticks are the small scuttlers in the dark, those little ones that are just super annoying. The bastions are slow-moving tanks that annihilate anything with the giant machine guns it has. And the leapers are, well, the ones that will leap across the map at you and pretty terrifying sometimes. As for your trading and quests, these are integral to the gameplay loop with launch, but what about in these server tests? They said during the Server Slam, traders will offer a selection of early quests, but the more advanced ones will have to wait until launch. So not everything will be there, and I think that's probably a good thing and for good reason. It's also important to note that your progress made during this Server Slam will not translate to the launch version, so it would be a shame if you ended up going super far into your quests and everything like that in a weekend's time, but then it gets reset. So this is kind of like holding you back from doing that. So while again, it's not necessarily the function of the Server Slam itself, it's nice in a sense that it keeps you from doing that, getting too far ahead, just to have to start at square one again 2 weeks later. The other Server Slam content we'll see includes weapons and gear, where it says early and mid-tier equipment will be available for you to experiment with, but some things will be locked until launch, so likely those higher tier rewards as well. Blueprints, they stated, will expand your Raiders' ability to make and modify weapons and gear. They said all blueprints can be found, but those of the highest tier will not be craftable during the server slam. The Raider deck will be available for you to try out, but with only one page of items to unlock. What the Raider deck is, we'll touch on in just a second. And then the workshop, it says your basic crafting stations of like your weapons, equipment, and medical are available, but unlike the tech test 2 and the full launch, you will not be able to upgrade those to end up getting even better things you can craft from those. They said additional things like projects, trials, and the codex will be visible but not progressible. Projects like the expedition that we'll talk about here in an upcoming video, your sort of optional wipe, the long-term missions that players can use to leave the Rust Belt permanently, these will end up offering resets and key rewards, but they're going to be visible but not progressible within this tech test. The trials are a proving ground for seasoned raiders where you can complete challenges, return safely to Speranza, and then vie for a place at the leaderboards. That's something that, again, you do not have access to, but you'll see a little bit of the menu functionality for that. And the codex will be a growing archive of your raiders' accumulated knowledge. This collecting stories, people, and places as you progress deeper into the world, seemingly being a bit more of a narrative-driven element that we did not see in the tech test 2, but I'm excited to see what this will amount to with the full launch. Again, it's important to note that anything that you make here in terms of progress will not transfer to the full launch of the game, so do with that information what you will. Now, feats, cred, and Raider decks were also detailed, where your feats are your moment-to-moment challenges, those in-game things you can do and that will then reward you, those being rewarded with cred, which is currency to use to unlock things in the Raider decks. Now, these appear to be your battle pass, your things that are actually in-game earnable and progressible in an organic fashion. And it is mentioned that the Raider decks are made up of multiple pages of rewards that progress as you go along and stay open. Some decks are free, others are premium, and while most stay in circulation, some are a limited time. So kind of taking the Helldivers route here with this, and what we've seen akin to that, where you have something that you don't have the fear of missing out, but maybe some are more seasonal than others, and we'll have to see what happens there. The final thing they've detailed about this and the experience we'll have here this upcoming week is that we do end up getting a limited time reward for taking part of this, where we get the Server Slam exclusive backpack cosmetic here for the full launch of the game. All you have to do is log into the Server Slam, confirm your Embark ID, and then come the full launch of the game. If you decide to pick it up, you'll have it on October 30th. But that is everything that you really need to know about the Server Slam here upcoming for Arc Raiders. A much smaller scale test of content, but a big opportunity for everyone to check this out. There was a lot of buzz around Arc Raiders and Tech Test 2 back in, I think it was April, but not a lot of people were able to get into it. That was a closed test that we had, but now you can jump in regardless of what platform you're on, regardless on if you actually want to buy it or not. You can just test it out and see what the buzz is all about. For me, I'm incredibly excited. We're going to start ramping up our pre-launch content here for Arc Raiders. And then, of course, once it comes out, I'm going to have so much stuff about the game upcoming. I'm super excited for this game. We have, again, the busiest fall in this channel's history, so I'd love to have you guys along for the ride. Drop your thoughts, drop a like if you guys enjoy the video, and of course, make sure to subscribe to stay up to date with all things Arc Raiders content, the current Battlefield 6, we got Call of Duty stuff coming up. We got a lot here to come the next couple of weeks to months. I'd love to have you in the community. For now, though, thanks so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care, and peace.